for watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
We are tracking the risk for storms across the area for tomorrow. We'll have that forecast just ahead.
Plus, time is ticking for a suspect in an Aiken mother's death to turn himself in.
But first, thousands in Maui homeless right now after a deadly wildfire swept across the island, while families back here in Augusta have to watch from thousands of miles away.
I was in shock at first, and then I went through waves of not knowing because I can't reach the people, my loved ones and friends.
Crews are battling those deadly fires as we speak, and the death toll is also climbing. At least 36 people dead. Yesterday, that number was closer to 6.
Today, we spoke to several family members who are trying to figure out what they can do for their loved ones on the island. Our Nick Phelan live right outside of Hawaiian-style barbecue. It's on Washington Road. So, Nick, how are they processing what they're seeing play out on TV?
Yeah, it's an extremely difficult time for anyone with ties to Hawaii, and especially Maui. And when Hawaiian-style barbecue saw the devastation, they knew that they needed to help out the islands in their time of need. A bright-colored community, now in ashes.
But the before and after pictures they're unreal. They're completely unreal. They're frameable pictures, but they give you goosebumps.
Erica Showers grew up going to the historic city of Lahaina on Maui. It's now rubble.
It's just heartbreaking.
Her sister and friends are still on Maui.
Just emotionally, I was in shock at first, and then I went through waves of not knowing because I can't reach the people, my loved ones and friends.
Hawaiian-style barbecue now tries to keep their heads up high, fighting the good fight 4,500 miles away. Putting business aside for their community, donating all proceeds from t-shirts to Maui. They want the restaurant now to be a place to go if you need to talk to someone.
And I want this to be a safe haven. This culture is very strong, and it's family, and they take everybody in. It doesn't matter who you are.
The Red Cross says donating money goes towards shelters, food, medical, and financial aid. This is the best way to support. Shipping costs make it hard to transport water and clothes. Now, as those help from Augusta, Showers waits to hear her sister's voice again.
It gets so hard when you don't know where your loved ones and friends are.
And tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. at this location of Hawaiian-style barbecue, they'll be holding a moment of silence for all those that are impacted in Hawaii.
Okay, certainly a scary time for friends and family, and we do have some resources where you can help on our website right now. You can help the victims of Maui through the Hawaii Community Foundation. Donations go towards families and businesses who lost everything in the fires. There's also the Aloha United Way, Maui Food Bank, and Maui Mutual Aid Fund, and much more, but we have that listed on our website for you.
To weather now with a live look for you from our Beach Island and Grovetown cameras right now. Beautiful afternoon out there. Dry now. The Riley, that wasn't the case a little earlier today.
Yeah, we were tracking a line of showers and storms very early this morning. It kind of broke up as it made its way towards Augusta, but some of us actually did see some wet weather today. Now we are all completely dry, and we're going to hang on to dry weather for the rest of this evening. As we head into tonight and early tomorrow, though, kind of the same routine that we saw today. We are expecting another round of potential showers and storms to wake up to early Friday. But if you have any plans for the rest of this evening, tonight, we got mostly clear skies, a lot of sunshine out there, and temperatures pretty warm again. We actually dig up to 94 for a high earlier today. Let's take you through the rain chances. So Friday morning, right around daybreak, this rain is starting to move in from the west, impacting metro Atlanta just a little bit before sunrise, traveling down I-20, and will bring us opportunity for some hit or miss showers and storms through the lunch hour and then into the afternoon. If we can add some good daytime heating, we potentially could see a few stronger thunderstorms that could go severe. Main concern is going to be damaging straight line winds, and I would imagine the severe weather threat is mainly late into the afternoon tomorrow, but we could still see some rain early Friday, so be sure you're keep an eye to the sky as you head out to the bus stop. Now look at that forecast coming up in just about 10 minutes.
New at 6 o'clock tonight. The Lexington County coroner says an Aiken man is dead after Lexington deputies hit him with a taser. The coroner says he is 32-year-old Bernice Smith III.
They say Smith became unresponsive after he was taken into custody and died sometime between being tased and getting to the hospital. Deputies say they approached Smith at a Walmart and realized he had a warrant out for shoplifting. Deputies say he tried to run. 3 deputies are now on paid administrative leave, and SLED is investigating. We dug into Lexington County Sheriff's Department's policies and found deputies are not able to use deadly force on suspects who are running away. But tasers are not defined as lethal force, but in this case, could have been a part of a lethal result. An autopsy tomorrow may shed more light on the case.
The family of an Aiken mother of 4 is still waiting for police to find the body a year after she disappeared. Crystal Anderson went missing back in August of last year. Her boyfriend at the time, Tony Berry, charged with kidnapping in September and her murder in December.
Tony's son Darius was also charged in her death with accessory to murder after the fact in Aiken County. Investigators say the 2 of them burned a car that was part of evidence in the woods in Newberry County. But Aiken County authorities released Darius late last month because they did not have jurisdiction in that case. Today, Newberry County authorities say they are expecting Darius to turn himself in there. He'll be charged with accessory after the fact of felony arson.
While Crystal's family is waiting for answers, our Hallie Turner shows us how communication could be a factor delaying answers in this case.
Investigators in Newberry tell me when it comes to homicide cases like this one, where different parts of the crime happen in different counties, information doesn't all come out at the same time, creating a big mystery puzzle. On August 28th, Newberry County investigators found this Cadillac on fire, burned so badly they didn't know where to start.
When you have something like this, a car hadn't been entered as missing or stolen. Once we got the VIN to be able to find out all that information,
Leading them to this man, Tony Berry.
once we run Tony Berry, he's attached to a missing person file as well as Crystal. They sent us the flyers, they sent us the report, and gave us a contact of the investigator that was handling it.
Details began flooding in of a mom missing without a trace. Last seen 8 days before the car was found burned.
We coordinated with Aiken doing technology with phone forensic, trying to lay any area we could locate. Tony had disposed of Crystal.
Newberry investigators searched a 4-mile radius around the car with dogs on St. Philip's Church Road, but couldn't find any trace of Crystal. When Aiken questioned Tony after his arrest, his son Darius came up in conversation.
They placed themselves here in Newberry County and could not give a legitimate explanation why they were here.
Reports from that night in Newberry showed Darius admitted to investigators he picked up his father at the Love's truck stop, just miles away from where Tony's car was burned. So Aiken County charged Darius with accessory after the fact, but so did Newberry.
They just went ahead and charged him with the accessory after the fact because of information that he's given and Tony's given. We feel like Tony was the one that come up here, did that, made the call to Darius to come and pick him up.
Aiken County dropped the charges on Darius 2 weeks ago. Newberry says they've been waiting since December with a warrant to arrest him.
We have an active warrant on him, conspiracy, accessory, after the fact of a felony.
But they never knew Darius was released until News 12 gave them a call.
We thought he was still in jail or still out on that bond.
And of course, we'll let you know when and if he turns himself in. If he does, the sheriff's office says they'll ask the judge to deny his bond.
The deadline to apply for the PACT Act, which will allow veterans to get back pay if they were exposed to toxic chemicals, is just days away. Since the PACT Act became law this time last year, more than 350,000 veterans have gotten their benefit claims approved.
The VA says about 110,000 of them suffered toxic exposure from burn pits overseas. Taylor Martin shows us how the law is impacting our local veterans.
For Justin Chandler, his years in the military were some of the best years of his life.
It was the time of my life, and I would do it all over again if I had the chance.
But for him and millions of other veterans, years of service would turn into years of health problems like asthma, environmental allergies, and multi-symptom illness, just to name a few. All because of burn pits and toxins during his deployment in Iraq.
Being familiar with things like Agent Orange in Vietnam and things like that, we knew that we were putting ourselves at risk, but we just continued to do our job.
It's why the VA Augusta Medical Center has screened more than 30,000 veterans for toxic exposure under the PACT Act in the past year, contributing to the nation's overall total of $4 million.
If their claim is approved, they will get back pay to August of 2022.
But if you've not filed a claim under the PACT Act in the last year, your first step is getting with your provider.
With the new PACT Act, the government has engaged certain presumptive conditions, and that means that you don't have to prove it.
For veterans like Justin, it's another step in getting the care they need after years of service to our nation. Reporting in Augusta, Taylor Merton, on your side.
So veterans, check this screen. You have until 11:59 Monday night to apply and get back the back pay benefits starting last August. If you missed this deadline, you can still apply for PACT Act benefits. You just won't get that back pay. We have a link to apply and answer any questions on the PACT Act linked on our website.
It's a coaster down a mountain powered only by gravity. Coming up, we'll show you how you can find the thrill just a tank of gas away.
And we are bringing back a better chance for thunderstorms heading into tomorrow, but luckily drying out to the weekend. We'll have that full forecast next.
And you'll never forget it.
Which hotel? Somebody say which hotel? I'm great at this. Dance your faves in the spa-like bathroom. Or enjoy local craft beers with breathtaking views at the Cambria. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
All right, welcome back, folks. Taking a live look at our First Alert Radar Network, and finally an afternoon where we don't really have much rain to be dealing with. So we do look dry if you're fired up the grill, heading out to get a bite to eat, anything like that. No need to worry about the rainfall for the rest of this evening. But as we head into tomorrow morning, this is going to be our next system. So another just kind of wave of showers and thunderstorms that's going to move in from the west by daybreak tomorrow morning, and potentially just kind of staying on and off throughout the day on Friday. Let's take a look at it. So through this evening, once again, temps falling off into the 70s by midnight. We'll see a few passing clouds overnight, and as we head towards daybreak, we are going to be tracking this rain moving in from the west. So this will just kind of head our way from Atlanta, travel down I-20. Our western counties will see the rain first, so places like Gibson, Thompson, Washington, Sparta, you're likely going to see the rain early into the day, but you do look dry for places like Allendale, Barnwell, Bamberg, Sylvania. Those parts of the CS rate do look dry for at least the first part of the day. As we head towards lunchtime, you can just see this kind of hit or miss activity will continue. Maybe able to see a few breaks in the clouds and warm up into at least the low 90s for us here in Augusta. But take a look at what happens with these storms late into the afternoon. We have a little bit of sun, some energy, and that's where our low severe weather threat is going to come to play. Right now, favoring areas south of I-20 and south of Augusta into the afternoon, but really just can't rule out anybody possibly tapping into a storm with some stronger wind gusts. So just make sure you are keeping an eye to the sky if you're going to be out and about outside Friday. Doesn't necessarily look like anything that would last all day long, but you'll just have that opportunity maybe for 30 minutes to an hour of dealing with some rain around midday into the afternoon. This is our severe weather threat, a marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center. This usually means any severe storm that does form would be limited in duration and intensity, so we're not expecting long-lived, substantial severe weather for everyone, but just a couple of storms may be able to briefly produce some strong wind. Here's those rain chances for your Friday, so once again, really at any point during the day, cannot rule out that you see some rainfall, so make sure you are keeping that umbrella close. Luckily, into the weekend, we do dry out. If you have any outdoor plans Saturday or Sunday, not really anticipating storms to be a huge impact for us. Even that 20% Sunday is fairly low, and definitely nothing you should cancel anything you have planned outside for. 96 and 97, that is the thing. It is going to start feeling a little bit hotter this weekend. Those are the actual temps. Take a look at what's happening with our heat index. So for tomorrow, not necessarily too bad, upper 90s, low 100, but then as we head into Saturday afternoon, potentially as high as 105, 106, 107, and then by Sunday afternoon, we potentially could see these numbers get close to 110 in a few spots. So this would be enough to where we actually could see some heat advisories issued for the second half of the weekend. So we're going to have to watch that pretty close as well. Now, once we get past the weekend, those temps start to gradually cool off a few degrees into next week, and storm chances just staying fairly low past tomorrow.
It's one of Georgia's only, if not the only, alpine coaster, and you can get there and back home on just one tank of gas. This week on our one-tank trip, our Will Vogt takes us to Helen, Georgia.
I am interested in this. It's in North Georgia, about 3 hours away. Take a look at this unique coaster powered by gravity down a mountain.
Who's ready to ride down the mountain?
We're hoping it's gonna make us pass out.
What do you mean?
Cooper isn't sure about this. Her dad, Travis, says he's not going to use the brake. As I started my journey up the mountain, I thought, that sounds good. No brake. Full speed. And this video is not sped up. It felt like I was entering a new dimension. Those turns became super fast. but I committed to not breaking until the end. I made it in one piece. Travis and Cooper did too. They did not pass out.
Was it fun?
It was okay.
Come on now.
The good news is, if your idea of fun is a slower ride, you can always just hit the brakes and take it easy. Or you can choose to speed down as fast as possible. It's all up to you. Finding new octaves? Well, Volk, on your side.
That looks amazing,
Yeah,
right?
I'm all in. Yeah.
So the cost does vary. $17 for adults, kids ages 7 to 12, $14, and then the younger ones, 3 to 6 years old, $10.
All right. I mean, looks like a good time. If you're in Helen, check it out. Let us know what you think.
Okay, the Lakeside football team taking a new approach to playing offense this year. Dan breaks down what these changes mean for the Panthers' playoff hopes next in sports.
First, we have the experience to help you get the money that you deserve.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Every year, football teams come into the new season with an edge, a renewed sense of motivation, and sometimes a new perspective on how to play the game. It's new year, new me for Lakeside, because after missing the playoffs last year, the Panthers are completely changing their offensive philosophy. Over the past several years, this team has been known to run the ball a lot, having their entire offense based around the ground game. But with hopes of creating more explosive plays in the passing game, dual-threat quarterback Mikhail Grissom will now be piloting the spread offense, which is designed to get their playmakers out in space to do some damage in the open field.
And now we are fun and gun. We're going to throw it around, do a bunch of different things on offense. Just let the players have fun. That's what it's all about anyway.
Once one of our running backs gets going, that's going to open the passing lane. So I just feel like once everything starts connecting, we're going to be a dangerous offense.
Being able to mix up running and throwing the ball, and with every other play we have, I feel like being able to mix the mix of the two is really going to set us up for success.
The Panthers are scrimmaging Johnson High from Savannah tomorrow night before opening up the season in Aiken against the Hornets next week.
Through the first couple of weeks of school, we've already seen issues with behavior in Aiken and Burke County schools. Last week, Aiken High went on lockdown after a brawl broke out at Burke County High. Several fights broke out in just the first week. Edgefield County has not had those problems, but Andre Dickerver shows us how they're trying to get ahead of the problems early.
It's a way to help students.
Gives us the ability to meet their needs, to know exactly what our kids need.
An effort to help improve students' learning and get ahead of issues before they happen.
Teenagers are teenagers. And so the ability to give them the skills that they need to be successful in the classroom, to be successful with the students sitting next to them.
If they do take the survey, the school says it'll be put to good use.
We'll first be building out a curriculum, K through 12, using that data, but then it will also allow counselors to drill down and figure out, hey, I've got this group of 10 kids that really need support in this area. Let me pull them in a small group and work on that with them. It will allow principals to be able to see school-wide, we need to do some stuff on decision making, or school-wide, we need to talk about how you resolve conflicts with others.
With the goal to have more students prepared for the real world.
Employers are constantly stating, I can't keep an employee, or I can't get the employee to come to work on time, or they don't know how to collaborate with each other. And so that's what we're teaching.
Even some created by the pandemic.
And during that time, they've lost some of those skills that we need. Some of them never had an opportunity to build those skills because they weren't in a classroom with other students.
In Edgefield County, Audrey Dickerber on your side.
Also tonight, if you missed our I-Team investigation earlier this week, there's still a way to watch.
PA dispatch got one in custody.
This is a tale of two arrests.
I got a warrant for your arrest.
For what?
I got a warrant for your arrest.
For what?
Turn around.
What's going on?
You got a warrant for your arrest.
A warrant for my arrest?
Yes, sir.
On one hand, you have this prominent businessman, that's what the sheriff calls him, somebody who the sheriff actually knows, and then on the other hand, somebody who doesn't know the sheriff. But that's not the only difference. One of those men spends 23 days in jail before he is able to bond out. The other man doesn't have a mugshot. He doesn't have his fingerprints taken. He's not even booked into jail. It's almost like the arrest didn't happen at all. In fact, the sheriff admits to us that he let him go that night. So we went straight to the source. We asked Burke County Sheriff Alfonso Williams about this. He refused to sit down for an interview, but he did answer our questions via email. Find out what he had to say by watching the story right now on our WRDW streaming app or by going to our website. Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
We're standing.
Take another quick look at your 7-day forecast. We are expecting those storms again Friday. Really can't rule out rain at any point during the day tomorrow, so keep that umbrella close, and there is going to be a low severe weather threat, so keep an eye to the sky and make sure you have that First Alert weather app close by. Into the weekend, we do look much drier. Keep your outdoor plans this weekend, but be prepared for some intense heat and humidity. Feel like temperatures could be close to 105 and 110 by Sunday afternoon, so get outside and enjoy it, but make sure you are staying nice and hydrated.
Got a few more weeks of August to go here before we're out of that stuff. That's going to do it for us for now. Our next live update, 7 o'clock on NBC 26.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11.